Good morning, good afternoon to everybody watching. This is going to be the showcase for our Debate 101 class. I am Coach Emily, and this week we were working with Symphony and Ruth to prepare 4-minute long persuasive speeches. A little bit about me. Like I said, my name is Emily Wingard, Coach Emily. I am a sophomore in college at the University of Central Florida. I know you guys are all operating on a West Coast time. For me right now, it's 4 p.m., a little bit of a time difference there. I attend the University of Central Florida with an electrical engineering major, but I promise you, I am certified, I'm credible. To do this kind of stuff. I have been personally doing speech and debate formally for 5 years, but public speaking for my entire life. My formal experience, I started speech and debate in high school doing an event called Original Oratory, in which I write and deliver 10-minute long persuasive speeches on a topic of my choice. During my time in high school, I qualified for 2 different national tournaments and competed at one of them. Moving on into college, I now do a multitude of events from prepared speeches like in high school to impromptu and extemporaneous speeches as well. I've qualified for another national tournament during my time on the college speech team under the direction of Jonathan Conway. So there's a little bit about me, a little bit about my experience and my credibility. But now I think we are going to go ahead and get started with the showcase because we know you are all here to see your kids, not me. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. If I could get a thumbs up from either Ruth or Symphony just to make sure that this is working properly. Can you guys see the slideshow? Perfect. All right, let me go ahead and present this. Award ceremony will begin shortly. We are going to begin it now. All right, so our award ceremony. This is the class. It is a very small class, I know. Nonetheless, I think it was all the better. Getting to work with just 2 kids this week gave me the opportunity to have a lot of one-on-one time with them and really get to know Ruth and Symphony. It has been an absolute privilege on my end to be able to spend so much time working with them over the course of this week. And we got so much done. In just 1 week, these kids have written, done research for, prepared, memorized an entire 4-minute long speech. And 4 minutes is a long time to be talking. So the work that these kids did this week is truly phenomenal, truly impressive, and you should be very, very, very proud of them. We're going to do an award certificate from Ron Bratt, our CEO, for each one of these kids. First up, we have Symphony. So I'm just going to say a couple of words about each kid, and we're going to applaud them for all the hard work they've put in this week. So Symphony is truly just such a sweet girl, and I'm so pleased to have been able to get the chance to work with her. I know that and the first experience I had with Symphony was Monday morning. Every single morning I asked the kids what they had for breakfast, and I tell them what I had for breakfast too. The reason I do this is just because it gets them speaking. It lets me know how much they're willing to naturally elaborate on things, whether they're going to say they had eggs or whether they're going to say they had scrambled eggs. It gets me a measure of how confident they are in speaking to other people. And it's, I think, just a nice way to open up the day. We did it every single morning without fail. I asked them what they had for breakfast. They told me what they had for breakfast. And I remember Symphony just, man, like she just blew me away from that first morning. She was so descriptive. She even told me what she had to drink. She had warm milk every single day. I think that is absolutely amazing. And I loved getting to hear every single morning she had her warm milk. It was fantastic. I remember the first time she gave her speech for me, like her whole 4-minute long speech, whole thing written. She was a speed demon, just reading through it super duper fast. And I was like, Symphony, like you don't have to go that fast, you can afford to slow it down a little bit. And we come back this morning, I hear her speech again, the improvement that she made just overnight blew me away. Not only with slowing it down to like an easily comprehensible, natural speaking speed, but other things that I didn't even mention she improved upon. You could tell that she was really, really, really passionate about what she was saying. And it was so beautiful to hear the significant improvement that she had in such a short amount of time. So, Symphony, congratulations on your first week of camp with Capital Debate. You did such an amazing job, and I am so glad that I got to spend this week with you. So, we're going to do a round of applause for Symphony. I don't know if you guys can hear me applauding. Moving on to our second student, Ruth Chen. Ruth was confident from the get-go. And she thinks she's nervous to give this speech. She thinks she's nervous to do the speech today. And she may be. She probably is. But I know that she's going to do an absolutely amazing job because she's been nervous all week long. I can see it in the kind of the way she holds herself, but her voice sounds so confident nonetheless. And Ruth is the kind of girl who is willing to put the work in to get what she wants. I can see that because I know she's writing a novel and I know she's got 20 pages done with it. I know that she wakes up at 6 a.m. to swim 40 laps around a pool. Like, those are things that require such drive and such willpower to be able to do. And I see such a drive in Ruth. And that is very clear in her speech and how well she's able to deliver it despite such a short amount of time to prepare. And Ruth has really just taken this week absolutely by storm. And the amount of improvement and the amount of progress she made is, I don't even have a word for it. She is just such an amazing student. She did such an amazing job this week. Ruth, congratulations on your first week done of Debate 101 with Capital Debate. It has been such an honor to get to spend this week with you. Round of applause for Ruth. All right, so I have a couple more slides to get through, a couple of more things I'm going to talk about. Firstly, we do surveys with Capital Debate, and we would love to hear what you guys have to say. I can guarantee you, I know for a fact that the people at the base of Capital in California do genuinely read every single survey they get, and we implement those things that we hear in the surveys into our summer programs and into our year-long programs. So for parents, if you could go to parentsurvey.capitaldebate.com, and for Ruth and for Symphony, if you guys could go to studentsurvey.capitaldebate.com, it would mean the world to us if you would go and fill out those surveys and let us know honestly what you think. We're constantly trying to improve our program, especially now that we're conducting it online instead of in person. This feedback is necessary more than ever so we can figure out what we can do to better facilitate this online learning system for your kids so that they can continue to take these classes and improve upon their ability to speak and debate. We would love to hear your feedback. Moving on further, today only, we have a coupon code to get $50 off the next camp. I know that Ruth is doing the next camp, but I don't know if Symphony, maybe after this week, she's changed her mind. Maybe she wants to do another week of camp. We offer many, many more classes after this one. The one that you're probably going to go into next is the Debate 201 class. That's the one that I know Ruth is already signed up for. We offer, but aside from 201, in fact, I'll go over to the next slide because that's where we talk even more about these other classes. We have a lot of programs with Capital Debate that we offer for these students depending on what their interest is. For example, under the programs, we have the legal communication program, the business communication program, the interpersonal communication program, and the STEM communication program. That encompasses nearly every professional field that exist, not all of them obviously, but a good number of them. So no matter what your child's interest is, we have a program for them with Capital Debate. So again, if you want to sign up for another camp, whether it be 201, 301, or any of these communication programs we have, using that coupon code, you can get $50 off of your next camp. We would love to see your students back here with us. I had a great time teaching them. I would love to be able to work with them again sometime. So I'll leave the screen up for just a second in case you want to take a screenshot of that class code. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next. Oh, yeah, before I move on to the next slide, if you have any questions at all, you can contact us through either team@capitaldebate.com for email, or you're more than welcome to call us at 800-450-5012. We're very, very active on answering phone calls and answering emails. If you do contact us, we will get in touch with you and we will have answers to whatever questions you may have. And please keep in touch. There's that contact information. Again, you can screenshot that if you want it. We would love to hear from you guys, no matter what the question, comment, concern may be. Our goal with Capital Debate is to do whatever we can to help your kids as best as we can. That's our goal here. And so if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out so that we can answer those questions for you. All right. And that concludes our kind of like ceremony for this showcase. What we are now going to move on to is we are going to actually hear what your kids have been working on all week long. So what's going to happen now is we're going to hear from Ruth first. So me and Symphony are both going to turn off our face cams so that it's just Ruth on the screen. And we're going to hear Ruth's 4-minute long persuasive speech. Good luck, Ruth. You got this.
Social media companies are key institutions in the digital public sphere. A public sphere doesn't work properly without trusted and trustworthy institutions guided by professional and public regarding norms. This is from the Ninth First Amendment Institute at Columbia University. The goal of regulating social media is to create incentives for social media companies to be responsible and trustworthy institutions that will help foster a healthy and vibrant digital public sphere. To help achieve such a goal, government regulations over social media companies are necessary. Government regulations over social media platforms are better and more beneficial for the public and all social media users that use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media apps. First, government regulations protect users from harmful and inappropriate content. Second, they can limit the spread of unreliable and false information. And third, they add more awareness to the privacy of users and their personal information. First of all, government regulations are necessary to protect users from harmful and inappropriate content like cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is the use of electronic communication to bully someone. It is very damaging to the victim, which can result in increased distress, depression, and even fear of people and society. It can also affect students' grades. According to socialnetworking.procon.org, 52% of students have reported being the victim of cyberbullying from social media apps. Middle school children who are victims of cyberbullying are almost twice as likely to attempt suicide, which is why it is imperative that governments regulate social media platforms for the sake of students and everyone. Secondly, government regulations can limit the spread of unreliable and false information. A federal grand jury indictment announced by special counsel Robert Mueller said that a Russian group created phony social media accounts and used to reach significant numbers of Americans for purposes of interfering with the US political system. Additionally, a University of Michigan study found that even when false information is corrected, the number of people who see or share the correction on social media is lower than the number who saw or shared the false information in the first place. However, government regulations can change this. This is especially important. Disinformation can really impact and change the way people look at things, other people, and incidents and problems around the world. People, and children specifically, may be misled into believing something untrue. Lastly, government regulations add more awareness to the privacy of users and their personal information. Identity and personal information is incredibly important for our everyday lives. We use our personal information, passcodes, and identity every day, whether it be driving a car, pulling money from our bank account, etc. Unfortunately, social media platforms and companies themselves do not enforce this very well. In a survey, 13 million users in Facebook said that they did not set or did not know about Facebook's privacy settings. On a much worrisome note, hacking is also a problem because of overlooked security measures. According to cybersecurity.net, social media hacking has become so common that it's been affecting politics on a national level. Pentagon officials are increasingly worried that state-backed hackers are using social media and for platforms such as Twitter and Facebook to break into Defense Department computer networks. However, all of this could change with government regulations. In conclusion, government regulations are necessary to create a better social media environment for social media users and the general public. As stated earlier from the Ninth First Amendment Institute at Columbia University, social media companies are key institutions in the digital public sphere. However, to create a safe, vibrant digital public sphere, government regulations are needed. Social media companies themselves are not doing a good enough job of protecting the users and the personal information from harmful content and hackers. This is why it is imperative that governments regulate social media for the good of our people.
Round of applause for that. Wow. Ruth, that was absolutely amazingly well done. Very good job. You should be very proud of yourself. And last but certainly not least, we are going to hear our 4-minute long persuasive speech from Symphony. So me and Ruth are going to go ahead and shut off our face cameras so that it's just Symphony on the screen. Symphony, good luck. You're going to do absolutely amazingly. And you can go ahead and get started whenever you are ready.
Current research suggests that because teenagers have different sleep patterns, they would benefit from beginning the school day at a later time. Some schools are considering keeping the school day from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Studies show that 80% of students do not feel prepared or energized going to school in the morning. School should begin later in the morning to make the school system more effective. 3 reasons it would be effective to the school system is because starting school later in the day would encourage healthier habits, improve school performance, and enhance student moods. The first reason school should begin later in the day is because it would encourage healthier habits. The Sleep Foundation claims that evidence suggests that teenagers are sleep deprived. A recent poll conducted by the National Sleep Foundation found that 60% of children under the age of 18 complained of being tired during the day. For one, many students would agree with needing more rest before beginning the school day to stay alert and attentive. It is proven to be extremely necessary for adolescents to get 10 to 12 hours of sleep per night, which is shocking 73% of students do not. Sleep helps the teenage body regenerate and keeps the brain developing. On top of that, starting school at a later time would give students the opportunity to establish a proper morning routine, such as having time to use the restroom, eat a healthy breakfast, or really just prepare for their day in general. The second reason school should begin later in the day is because it would improve school performance. A study that included 9,000 high school students conducted by the University of Minnesota found that grades, test scores, and overall performance in core subjects advanced significantly when school start times were switched to later hours. When students get more time to sleep, their brain gets more rest and time to function, which can significantly improve school studies, classwork, and test grades. Later start times can mean less missed school. Absences dropped 15% in Bonneville County, Idaho, after instituted such a change, according to a 2014 Children's National Medical Center report. Starting the day later will reduce the amount of tardies overall. Many students will show up late to school due to lack of time and energy from being rushed in the morning. If school officials demand students to be precisely on time, starting school at a later time should be considered. The third reason school should begin later in the day is because it would enhance student moods. Getting adequate sleep and adjusting school schedules to coincide with the natural sleep patterns of teens improve mood and attitude. Students who get time to themselves in the morning are likely to have positive moods and better attitude in general. It is proven that students who are moody in the morning can end up suffering from depression, anger, fatigueness, and more. Pushing the school day to a later time would definitely help students enhance their moods throughout the day. Researchers found that getting less than 8 hours of sleep was the strongest predictor of injury. Starting the school day later will ensure safety. Students who leave for the bus, drive, or work or walk to school in the morning could be at possible risk, since going out early could be dangerous. Students who play sports could also take the chance of being injured if they were in a bad mood or low energy. Having more time in the morning and feeling less rushed would help boost their energy. In conclusion, all schools should adopt the schedule of beginning their day 1 hour later. Starting school in the day would encourage healthier habits, improve school performance, and enhance student moods. With these points, I believe that school should begin later in the day to make the school system more effective.
All right. Let's do a round of applause for Symphony. Yes, Symphony, that was absolutely amazing. You did so well with that. Both Ruth, both you and Symphony, both of you guys did such an amazing job. Parents, hopefully you can see how much their hard work this week has paid off. It takes a lot to be able to stand up like that and give a speech, especially when they've only had 1 week to work on it. When I give my speeches, I've had an entire year to prepare a speech like that, and they just did it in a week. That is absolutely phenomenal, absolutely incredible, and they just did a A+ job. Truly amazing work from both of them. So I hope you guys are proud, and I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. However, this is going to conclude our showcase. I know it was pretty short. We only had 2 kids to get through. Usually there's a good deal more, but I am so fortunate that I got to be able to work so one-on-one with Ruth and Symphony this week. I really got to know them as students, as workers, as speakers, and it was a pleasure on my behalf. I hope you consider bringing them back for more weeks and more camps with capital debate. I had an absolutely fantastic job with them, and I hope they enjoyed their time here as well. But alas, it is time for us to sign off. So Ruth, Symphony, it was a pleasure to get to work with you this week. I hope you guys go on and do great things. Ruth, finish that novel for me. Send it my way whenever you finish it. Um,
It's on Wattpad.
It's on Wattpad. You know, drop your Wattpad account in the chat, Ruth. I will 1000% check it out. Great job. You guys can feel free to exit this meeting. We have finished debate 101.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.